Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Hope you got a lot of stitching done. I'm Jules. Thanks for coming back for another video. It is the middle of February. I hope you all had a happy Valentine's Day. We just had about 6 inches of snow yesterday, and that was definitely not a lot of fun. Well, it was a lot of fun. I like driving in the snow, but delivering and things like that when it's like wind chill of 0 and snowing in areas that you don't know very well, not a lot of fun. But got through it, and I'm off today, so it's good stuff. What am I doing today? Well, I'm doing the video, and then I'm getting back to work on designing some more pieces for you guys. Something that I've never really talked about, why I design, as far as why I actually do the patterns that I do. It's just because I felt like there was a niche that had not been fulfilled. Like there's cross-stitching, embroidery, needlepoint, whatever you want to call it, or needlecraft. It's such a diverse, it's such a wide-ranging craft. There's so many things that you can do, and traditionally the sort of the embroidery, the samplers, a lot of the classical kind of cross-stitching pieces just never really appealed to me. They're beautiful. They're very intricate. I especially love the pattern that came out during COVID lockdown, which was Pandemic, by Long Dog Samplers. That's what they're called. And so that was awesome. But that's not something that I really enjoy stitching, because when I'm done with it and I put it up on the wall, I want to, for me, I like to look at something that's represents something to me. And so we all have our individual reasons why we cross stitch. Now, why do I cross stitch what I do? Why do I design what I do? I cross stitch what I find enjoyable, what I really, really just love to stitch as I'm stitching, but also what I love to look at when it's up on the wall. Now, some of these pieces that I've done, I normally wouldn't do for myself, but I do to show you guys that my stuff stitches the way that it stitches up the way that the pattern looks. The way when I show you a picture, it is what it looks like when it's stitched. But it's one of those situations where I wouldn't necessarily follow like me as a stitcher, like this is what I do and you got to do exactly how I do it. You got to find what works for you. So that's the important thing. But I really I design because there was a gap. There is a gap between stuff that is popular, meaning like pop culture, that kind of thing, versus the more classical. There is a big niche that's filled of popular culture, like copyrighted stuff all over Etsy. If you guys have looked, I'm sure you have. People that stitch or people that put out patterns that are like Disney, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. And I have stitched things like that in the past, but those are not like, I don't know. I don't do that. And so I don't do that anymore in terms of what I stitch, but I also, I make sure that my patterns are, that I have the right to do it, and that I can feel confident that I'm giving you guys options in terms of what to stitch. And I get far more pleasure when you guys leave me a comment or send me an email or message me on Etsy or whatnot, talking about how much you've enjoyed stitching a particular piece, how happy you are with it when it's done. I've had people that have said, I haven't stitched in 20 years, but I saw your stuff and I want to stitch again. I think that that is the more important than anything that I stitch. I stitch for just me. And so when I do some things, I have to remember that I also have folks out there that might not really agree with how I do certain things, and that's totally fine. We all have our things the way that we like to do them. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk first, because I'm not sure if I've really told you guys like why I do the patterns that I do, why I show you guys what I do. So anyway, so let me get to what I've actually been stitching now that I've driven off half the audience. So let me show you guys what I've been stitching. And part of this is in relation, let me show you what I'm working on Mini Owl Couple right now, and I actually got some stitching done on it this week. This is sort of the mock-up of what it looks like, and this is where I've gotten so far with it. The faces are finally kind of showing up. I don't stitch a lot on this. I just, I've been focusing more on design, a lot more on design lately than stitching. So, but if we kind of put them side by side, I mean, the colors are really vibrant. I love the colors. It's gonna look more and more like it once it's actually stitched up. But if I move this forward, then it's kind of the right. I don't know. Anyway, so I had somebody who took me to task for using tape on my fabric. Don't go away. Don't go away. If that was that person, what they said was correct. You know, if you, I tape these little projects that I don't mind putting tape on. I'm not a like everything has to be beautiful and perfect, and I do what I can because it's sometimes be perfectly honest, my anxiety only allows me to do so much. If I were like incredibly particular about how I did things, I could not survive the day. Let me just say that. But I put tape on to make it easy and make it quick to stitch on pieces. And you know, when I go to frame things and wash them, like the stickiness in the tape is like gone by then. I don't actually take the tape off, which I know a lot of you guys are like, ooh, you don't take the tape off. I use the tape in helping to frame. I do. And so, you know, when this gets framed up and I've got a little bit of matting and it's framed up, you're never going to be able to tell that I taped it. I kind of need to finish this so that I can show you guys. Actually, I believe that this one I taped on the edges. I can't remember, but I want to say that I did. I can't remember now. Maybe I didn't. By the way, this one is my little girl baby feet. I gotta tell you guys, I've been trying to get the little boy version done, and I thought I had the little boy version done, but I gotta tell you, like, the cross-stitching software really struggles with blues. It struggles with identifying blues and being able to see a blue color and then give you the right blue DMC. That's just an issue that I've noticed with it. So that one back there is my French Bulldog Monochrome, and then we've got our cool little sea turtle Monochrome. So, but anyway, so I do this little pieces. I find that it doesn't bother me. Certainly, you know, if you guys, it's better to serge. It is always better to serge your edges, if I can. But I don't have a serger. My one friend that might be able to serge for me, I see like 3 times a year, if that. And so and hand sewing is so meticulous. You can just hop on YouTube and well, you're on YouTube. Just search for hand sewing cross stitch fabric or whatnot. I just can't do it. I mean, I'm not that good. I'm just not that good. So like serging, where they put this beautiful edge on it, and this is courtesy of a stitching shop in Denver, Colorado, who does the most wonderful serging job and has beautiful fabric, my favorite fabric that I've ever used. I still have such a cache of fabric that I haven't needed to order any lately, but when I want to get some serged fabric down the road, I'll definitely contact them. But the bottom line is that I think you should just do what works for you. I think that for the majority of people who are just kind of doing this for fun, I think this would work just fine. If you want to have like a higher quality of things, there are many videos out there that can teach you about fabric and framing and things like that. I cannot do that well, so I'm not going to even try. I am not here to lecture you guys on how to do cross stitch. I'm just presenting awesome patterns for you guys to stitch. So anyway, but you can learn a lot from that. You can learn a lot from that comment. And I just wanted to put that out there because I know that some people watch my videos and they probably get turned off by the fact that how I do things, but I'm not showing you guys how I stitch. I'm showing you guys how I design, or I'm showing you what I design. So anyway, so my little mini owls. I have a lot of owl patterns. It's insane how many owl patterns I have. Next up is progress on Lone Samurai. So this is the Lone Samurai. Now, I think did I show you guys this one? I've barely gotten any stitching done. And I'm not even sure if I could tell you, like, I think this is right side up or this way. I'm not even sure, to be perfectly honest with you, but that's Lone Samurai. I've stitched a little bit on that. I really didn't stitch a lot this week. I thought I would, and then I just started like working on designs and stuff. And I've got a lot that's in the pipeline. It's funny, I have all these separate steps of how I do patterns, and it's 7 or 8 different steps. And I also had somebody who was like, and I've had multiple people who have asked me, like, how do you design? What do you use? What's your technique? And with all due respect, trade secrets. And there are other videos out there from other people who show you guys how they do things. But, you know, if I show you guys my method, why, you know, then I'm out of business probably. But so anyway, so there's just that. So I have a lot of stuff that's in the pipeline that's hopefully coming out soon. Some monochrome stuff, a lot of color stuff, a lot of bigger stuff. So because I get so attracted to like these big colorful pieces that I just can't help myself. It's what I do. So let me show y'all what I have been working on. I want to start with the one monochrome I don't think I showed you guys last time, which was the gramophone monochrome. So if you guys like the old-fashioned monochrome, or the old, there you go. This one is, it's you know, it's sized big, 254 by 357. I tried to shrink this down. I did. But when I shrunk it down, we start losing all the details everywhere. And, you know, the more popular my stuff gets, the more people get attracted to it. And they're like, can't you just make a really small version of this one? The way you make a small version is you stitch on 25, 32 count fabric. I'm not saying that to be glib or to be like disrespectful in any way. It's just, I've tried. Trust me, don't you think like if I could make this small, everybody would probably want to buy it and I'd be like, yay, everybody's buying my stuff. But I can't. And I've told you guys before, like, you know how it looks three-dimensional? It looks three-dimensional for a reason. That's part of the design secret to it. And when you take that three-dimensional thing and like squish it down, you lose all the detail. So like if you take my head right now and you kind of squish it down, everything kind of just pushes itself together more than it already does. So it just doesn't work. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to stitch bigger, awesome pieces, at least right now, until I come up with the method. Or Ronnie Rowe comes up with the method, since this was his actual method. If he comes up with a way to make them smaller, but I don't even know if it's possible. I kind of don't think it is. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So some more. The rest of everything is kind of colorful. Well, actually, let me pick up the one that's. Let me go from least colorful to most colorful. So this next one is called the Good Samaritan, and it is. It's basically it's a painting that was done. A painting or a drawing? I forgot. It's in the National Gallery though, and so this depicts the biblical story of the Good Samaritan, you know, on the trail helping a traveler who was, I don't know, something's happened. Something has befallen this traveler. So this one is a bit more grayscale, but it's not truly grayscale. It's got 15 colors in it. There are some lighter colors in the sky, but it's 310 by 230. So it's bigger. Again, try to shrink it. When you shrink it, you lose the details. So I just love it. I think if you're going to do it, go big or go home. That's how I am. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Especially the ones that have been here for years. Because we were like, what, year 7, 8, 7? I don't know. Long time. City Stroll. So City Stroll is a little bit more, it's another painting that, and this could be any city, but it's kind of sepia toned in a way, but I had to keep the red. And you'll notice if you pick this piece up to stitch, you'll be like, there's only 30 stitches of this color red. Well, yeah, because look how tiny it is. And so I had to keep the red, but we cut the colors, the rest of the colors down as much as possible. So this one is 240 by 170. So 26 colors, believe it or not. But I love it. That's beautiful. Next one up, I don't think it has a great name to it, but I wasn't sure what to call it. It's called Full Sails. Didn't have a really great name for it because it's not really a pirate ship. It's like I want to say it's a galleon. It could be a frigate, but I think it's a galleon. I play video games that have galleons in them, and that's what I think. But this is kind of like, could be at dusk. Towards sunset, we got this beautiful ship sailing. But so this one is, again, it's big, 300 by 220, total colors 30. So I like to think that I'm sort of in between what most people do and something like Heaven and Earth Designs, which has insanely large projects. And like this is their mini. This is what they would call their mini version. They have beautiful stuff, but man, is it big. All right, and then finally, my final design for today. It's my most colorful design. It has 25 colors in it, but it's very bright. And this is King Tut's, like the cover of the sarcophagus, I think you want to say it, but it's the picture that kind of was famous as they brought it out. But so it's not full coverage. The white here is whatever fabric you want to stitch on. The total size is 150 by 210. So one of the smaller ones that I've put on here. And like I said, 25 colors. So if you guys like Egyptology, this one may be a good one for you. So, all right. Cool. Cool. So that's it for today. I don't think I really have anything else to talk about. I know I kind of jabbered on a lot today. But feel free to discuss in the comments. You know, upvote, downvote, whatever you think. But I'm here to give you guys patterns that you're going to love to stitch. And, oh yeah, what do you guys think about this? Maybe I'll put a poll up. The Hub said, now that I have kind of changed my channel title to Stitch and Jules Design, should I take my Stitch With Me's, especially the stuff that I do that's not my designs, to a different channel, like Stitching with Jules or something like that, like have it be a separate channel, and not put that stuff on this channel? I mean, what do you guys think? And do you think professionally I should do that? You know, I'm still not at a point where I can stitch, or I feel like I can stitch a lot. I know I change that from week to week, but right now getting designs out is the best thing, I think, for my brand. And so, I don't know. Oh, and then one more thing. Daphne, wonderful Daphne, has finished Sisters in the Storm, and that's going to be heading towards me soon. So when I get that, you guys will probably see it. I think you'll see that next week. And then I'll get both Sisters in the Storm and the Monochrome Owl framed. And actually, Monochrome Owl has got tape on the edges, so we'll see how that one turns out. I still need to wash it. But you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for all your support and comments. And even when you need to tell me something, hey, I don't think you're doing that right, let me know. And so, because then I can talk to you guys about it and be like, well, this is just how I do things, or you're right, I need to do differently. And so, anyway, hope you guys have a great day and enjoy your stitching. And I will see you guys really soon.